Hello and welcome to Common Junior videos. So I'm just gonna try and hold this in place for you so you can see it. So I'm sure you guys can probably see that. If not, I'll just adjust it so you can see it. There you go. Much better. So today I'm going to be reviewing Haze for the PS3, which is actually quite an interesting game, because there's people that do criticise this game for the fact that it was made by the people that designed Timesplitters that no longer are here. Free Radical, this was made by, it came out in the year 2008. Now there's a lot of people that say, why is this game not as good as Timesplitters? But now if you think about it, there's never really going to be a game like Timesplitters or Goldeneye or Perfect Act ever again. They're just classic first person shooters. Nothing can beat them. They're just great games. Now this game too has great multiplayer though, so we must not let that down, because this has got good multiplayer in it and it's definitely interesting. The game and the storyline's a very interesting one, where even when it says in the back of the box, fight the lies, expose the truth. Now that's pretty much the game summed up. Basically you start off as a Mantle Cooperation, part of the Mantle Cooperation, where you're fighting the rebels who you think are the bad guys but end up being the good guys. Then you work along then to get back at the Haze people. And there's also cool things you can do, like use nectar. Nectar is it's like something that enhances the strength of your body and makes you like unstoppable, like the unstoppable like force. But it's definitely interesting. Also, the game starts to change when you play as the rebels. I prefer playing as the rebels just for the fact that the weapons are better and the fact that the aiming's better. So here we go. I'm a rebel right now, so I'm just gonna try and do this without dropping my camera. So yeah, it's quite a good game actually. I think this is quite a good game. I don't know why people criticise the game. Well, not everyone criticises the game. Some people really enjoy this game, which is like me. I too really enjoy this game. It's an interesting game. Now, if the quality doesn't look quite as good as my usual videos, it's probably because I've zoomed up. Because the last time, I just don't like it too far away. I like you guys to see the proper action. So I've zoomed it in a little. But it's definitely an interesting game. Another nice little feature is the fact that all the characters in the game just have their own personality. When you work with your team, some of them are just completely funny and outrageous. It's some of the best cast of characters you'll ever see in the game. They're very interesting and they're very funny at times as well. Now I believe the game is using, actually I'm not sure what engine they're using, but it looks similar to the Half-Life engine for some reason. It probably isn't the Half-Life engine they're using, but it does look similar. So if anyone knows what engine this game is using, please comment and leave me a message. As you can see, if you're hurt, you just hold L2 down, or bad watch out because people will shoot you from behind. So it's a very interesting game, this, and The maps are quite decent, and they're not the best maps out there. Not as good as back in the classic Timesplitters maps. They were much better, but they're definitely still got some unique to them. Yeah, it's definitely still got some unique aspects to it. Another cool feature is the fact that when you shoot the Haze people, they if you shoot them like straight at that in the neck, they'll like go red and start going out of control, which is quite funny. The graphics of the game are quite decent. Not particularly the best graphics in the game, but definitely decent graphics. And yeah, it's got some decent graphics, and it looks pretty realistic. The forests and the jungles look yeah, good, and yeah, there's a lot of decent things you can do in the game. The multiplayer in the game. Now everyone likes multiplayers in games, especially games made by Radiacal. As you know, they've made Timesplitters. The multiplayer is quite disappointing in a way, just the fact that how could if from the same makers of Timesplitters, they should have done a little bit something better than that. Maybe a map maker, or just at least something to make it more interesting. Because you only get 3 modes in the game: Team Assault, Team Deathmatch, and Deathmatch, which is quite disappointing, but it's still alright. You get to drive vehicles, as I'm about to show you right now. You do get to drive the vehicle, so yeah, that is. I would say that's quite decent. R1's to drive it, and L1's to go backwards or stop. But yeah, it's quite fun driving vehicles because there's less limitations when you drive a vehicle. It's very similar to Timesplitters, the controls. So if you've seen the Timesplitters controls, they'll be pretty much similar to that, with a little bit of difference. Not really much. I'm about to get in my car or vehicle before I get killed. The AI in the game's pretty intelligent as well. They're decent, but sometimes they'll stop and look around for a minute. But they're not that bad, not compared to Lego Star Wars, which was quite awful. The fact that they would stand around sometimes and not do what they're told, but most of the time they would follow you in that game. So yeah. That's what they pretty much do in this as well. Follow you around most of the time. But yeah, they've got quite decent things you can do with them. But overall, the game's definitely pretty, and it's definitely a decent game. You can pick it up for under a £5, which is what I got it for, anyway. If you're here in the UK. I'm not quite sure what you can pay for it in the US, but just check Amazon. And yeah, pretty much check that retail price and pretty much be the same. Mind you, Amazon's quite a good place to get games from. I've got 3 games from there recently. I got Hitman Contracts from there for the PS2, and Hitman Blood Money from it. So yeah, it was pretty decent. I also got oh, what else did I get? Oh yeah, I got Far Cry for it from Amazon for about $2.98. So it was a pretty decent price for a game. And mind you, it is an old game, so you can still buy Xbox and PlayStation 1 games, so if you and N64. So if you're a classic gamer, then it's definitely a good website to go in. Now I'm going to stop because you probably got bored now. But until next time, guys, see ya.